I've read the gospel for today many, many times. It's a story where Jesus heals a leper. However, today when I was reading it, something jumped out at me that never had before, and that was that Jesus actually touched the leper, which is quite interesting that Mark would emphasize that in his writing, that Jesus actually touched the leper. And I was reading in the first reading today, the Jewish people tended to, if someone was sick or diseased, for example, a leper, they would cast them out of the community and they would be exiled unto themselves. And they did that because they were afraid that the disease might spread among the community. So if they found out that someone was a leper, or if you found out you were a leper, it would be horrible for a couple of reasons. One, you would die because leprosy is such a serious disease, and two, you would live a very lonely existence the rest of your days, separated from your family, friends, and community. And it would have awful physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual consequences. And many of them felt punished by God. In the gospel today, Jesus didn't do that. He welcomed the leper and touched him and healed him. And it was through that healing that the person was welcomed back into their community after having been exiled. So now, why do you think Mark emphasized the fact that Jesus actually physically touched the leper? Well, maybe because touching him helped heal him, of course, but also I think that Jesus really understood that we as human beings have psychological needs. Our feelings are important. We need to be touched and loved and patted on the back, have that contact to experience love. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but years ago there was some psychological research done on babies. There was one group that they examined that had no physical contact whatsoever. They weren't held, they weren't coddled, they weren't touched in any way, while the other group of babies were held and coddled and touched and cared for. And what happened was the babies that were ignored died because they starved for affection and human contact. And that we as humans, it proves that we must have that contact. If we look around today's society, obviously we know there's no leprosy and no lepers, but we still have people that we consider outcasts that are pushed away by society. And those people hunger for our love and our attention and our simple human touch. We have our church, our work, our friends or family, but for someone who's alone, if we're good Christians, we need to touch them, pay attention to them, connect to them. And it's so important in healing their psychological and emotional needs that they can feel and experience that touch and love. Thank you, and God bless you.